what's up, y'all? This is your girl, Dizzy, and welcome to episode 8 of What You Got to Say. I got my crazy co-host in the building. What's up, Mr. Tyrone Greggory?
Hey, let's get it.
All right, Miss Kela Mahogany.
Hey, y'all.
Miss Cool Candice.
Time to chop it up.
And Mr. Cabana Blaq.
I'm that dude.
You are that dude. So, as y'all can see, we have an extra square to our family this evening, and I would like to introduce you all to our guest for this episode, Miss Forever Carmen.
Hey.
All right, so episode 8, we are talking about the adult entertainment industry. So we are talking about porn, online sexual content, sex lines, strip clubs, so on and so forth. Just kind of as a whole, what the effects of it in this in the world, in the United States, overseas, the past, the present, and the future. So, just in case y'all didn't know, the pornography industry is a $19 billion industry. There are approximately 103,000 performers in the porn industry around the world. There are 69 adult movie studios worldwide. 41 of them are in the United States alone. The United States alone earns an estimated $9 to $13 billion in gross revenues annually from the adult. Yeah, that's crazy. From the adult entertainment industry. Just to kind of put that in perspective, it is more than the Major League Baseball, NFL, and the NBA combined.
And they probably their biggest supporters.
True that. So, there are an estimated 4.2 million porn websites. So, what do we feel? What are your thoughts about the adult entertainment industry? Do you partake? Do you not? And why?
Well,
I'll
start it off.
Okay.
I feel like, people would lie. They'd be lying if they said they never partake of the pornography industry. I mean, for me, I think pornography is about people finding some stimulant, something to escape from, something to make them feel good. I just think that at some point, for me, the dangers of it, where we are right now, especially now with OnlyFans, it seemed like in pornography, it still had professionals there. It had people that they chose to do this as a profession. Now we have people young as 16-year-olds having OnlyFans pages, and they're just regular folk, and they don't even know who they are right now. And their bodies everywhere, their faces are everywhere, and I feel like we're getting in a very dangerous place. So that is my real concern. Not as a concern as an adult, because you have choices, but more as a concern for seeing so many of our young people pick this platform because you can make money so quick.
Right. Okay. Anybody else?
Ooh.
Come on, Kela.
Wait a minute.
No, I mean that was really powerful, because that's true. Anytime you have something, even if it's aimed for adults, the children will, find it and they'll overdo it. And I didn't really think about 16-year-olds, 12-year-olds being able just to have a phone. If they have the iPhone 11, they can get on anything. And OnlyFans is one of those places where they can go, and they don't know what they're doing. So they are going to put their faces out there, and they're not going to be responsible with it. They're going to be telling people where they live. It seems like AOL back in 1995. What in the world? On the adult side, speaking of the adult side, yeah, I think porn is something that's necessary for society to help people. Like it's an outlet for people sexually. We have different outlets when it comes to, what we want to do creatively, or when we want to find, be trained or educated on something. Why not in the, with sex? We should be able to have things out there that are geared towards our taste. So I'm all for it.
All right.
I totally agree with that. There's a lot of things that I think people actually learn by watching porn.
Mm-hmm.
Or any of their the sex shows and stuff like that are out there, because they're still trying to find themselves. They're still trying to figure out what they like, or experiment, figure out, okay, I didn't like that. That looks weird. I'm not doing that. Like, people kind of don't know exactly which route to take when they're trying to find themselves, whether they're still researching their own sexuality, or whether they're trying to figure out a new way to pique interest with their partner, or try to learn a new trick when they meet somebody new. It's there's a lot of avenues to kind of go down as far as the industry, but I definitely think it's necessary. I think there's still a lot of taboo behind it, which is why so many people are not willing to speak about it or talk about it as much, because they still feel like, mainstream, or, their friends and family that are probably doing the exact same thing are going to downplay it, or, judge them and talk down to them or whatever. It's like, oh, well, I go to church, so I can't look at porn. It's like, you're human. If you got an itch, scratch it. But I definitely think that it's necessary. I also think that I wouldn't know how you would exactly monitor that, because like Kela was saying, you got kids that get iPhone 11s, or, whatever Android devices they're getting, and they can download any of these apps. And their kids are smart nowadays. They can quickly go around their parents to get some stuff done. So if they're really trying to figure out how to get on some of these sites or do some of these things, and all it does is say, hey, are you 18? Well, yes, I am. I know I'm only 15, but I want to see what they're doing. So there's not really a way to kind of monitor that. But so in that aspect, as Kavana said, that is dangerous, because you have kids that are engaging in things and looking at things and seeing stuff, and may try and act it out on somebody else that they've seen, or somebody that they like, and it's like, hey, you crossed the line, you can't do that. So they don't know the reality, or they don't know the consequences of their actions by doing something like that at such a young age.
Okay. Yeah. Mr. Gregory, Tyrone.
Okay, after listening to my fellow co-host, I just need to ask the question one more time. I got thrown off because I thought you said, do we participate? I mean, no, we got deep. We got deep real fast.
Yeah, we dove into the deep end.
Well,
no, I don't.
Still ask.
What was the question you asked, Dizzy?
I don't remember now, because we done gone all down the spiral hole. But I did say, what's your thoughts? I said, what are your thoughts on pornography, and do you participate?
I think it's great. Number one, personally, because I'm a man, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch it. I don't know no man that don't have, if you go on their phone and go to their daggone Safari, you going to see their history. It's going to be XX this, X that, whatever, big, beautiful, whatevers. I don't know. I don't care. What you like, what you like. But do I participate? iPhone 11, of course.
Gotcha. Well, hey, it is what it is. I will say this. Look, I do participate in these things. I do watch, but not on a regular basis. It's not a regular basis thing for me. I watch it. Who doesn't like a good sex scene? And I agree. It's where you see, you learn things, what you like, don't like, so on, just like Candice said. I have been to strip clubs. I enjoy strip clubs, and it's crazy because I'm just as straight as I can be, but I love going to the strip clubs where the women are dancing, because I think that they are amazing. They're
best wings, though.
Strip clubs always have the best wings. But I just think that being able to celebrate a woman's body, I mean, I think that's amazing. And it's very few male strippers that kind of be like, damn, for me or whatever. But I mean, it is what it is. I've never called a sex line. I've never done that. But because I don't think that that would do anything for me talking about it, I think I want to see it, you know, and I want, you know, I need that instant, ooh, what's that, you know, type deal. However, our guest, Forever Carmen, I'm going to let her introduce herself and what she does and what her whole take is on this subject. So Miss Forever Carmen, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dizzy, for having me on today. I appreciate it. My name is Forever Carmen, and I am on a platform called Night Flirt. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I got started, crazy story. I was on YouTube searching for work from home jobs, and this video popped up and it said, learn how to become a phone sex operator. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. And I only thought I could do it only because I used to sell sex toys years ago. So I figured, you know what, okay, you know, kids are in school, I could do it while they're in school and make, you know, some decent money. So after getting started in the beginning, I was trying to figure out, you know, how am I going to hide my face, because I know I didn't want to show my face. So after reaching out to a couple of girls on the platform, they were giving me some of the websites that I can go to, you know, to purchase pictures and, you know, models and stuff like that. And I went ahead and put my page together, and that was it. Now, I didn't know anything. I knew about phone sex, but I didn't think it was a big deal until I got to this platform. There's a lot to learn. You have to learn the fetishes. You have to learn the lingo.
Tell us about some of the fetishes that you had to learn about.
Oh my God. Cuckolding. Does anyone know what cuckolding is?
Yeah.
Who, Whatty?
Cuckolding.
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay. Cuckolding is when you have a married couple, or male and female, and they're usually white. The husband is not able to satisfy his wife. So they go and court a bull. A bull is usually a black man with a very large penis. And they will make an arrangement so that the husband or the male of the couple will watch the bull fuck his wife or his girlfriend and get the satisfaction that she needs. And usually when they're done, the husband or the boyfriend of the couple will clean her up. So after the bull has nutted in her, he will come behind him and eat her pussy.
Welcome. What you got to say?
Good Lord!
What you got to say?
Okay, so I had to learn about that. I also had to learn about sissies.
Oh my God.
Now I knew. Look, Cabana.
You
Okay.
asked.
Um,
Well, look, you hear Candice. You asked for this one.
I just.
I also
That is
had
like
to
a
learn-
common, like.
Huh?
That's common, like common.
Yes, and here's what will happen when I get a cuckold call.
Do they
every
say
now and
that?
then-
Like, hey, what's up, Carmen? I'm just letting you know this is a cuckold call from the jump. Like, do they just tell you their fetish from the jump so you know what you're getting into? Or
when you start the call, you know, you start the conversation. Thanks for calling my line. What's your name? You know, getting them to talk. What are you into? You know, what tickles your fantasy? And then that's when they tell me that they can't satisfy their wife, and you know they're looking for a bull, you know, to fuck his wife, and you know because he can't satisfy her. Now sometimes I've actually had one of them call me on the phone while the bull was fucking his wife in the other room.
so why does he have to call? Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
But why did he call you instead of sit there and watch? Like,
Because it's a turn on for him. It's a turn on for him. Look, Kela.
So he's watching live porn and happen in front of him.
Yes.
But then he's got to call somebody else too and
yes.
talk
Now
about
sometimes he's watching, and sometimes he's not, because sometimes the wife in the bull will request privacy, either going into the bathroom, the bedroom, wherever they want to be, because she doesn't want her husband in the room.
wow.
How many times,
happen.
on average, like how many times have you gotten this phone call?
Wow.
That many?
Is that's what they're right. That's what I'm like. Is that many?
Okay. So as far as them calling me while his wife or girlfriend is in the act, I'm gonna say less than 10 times, maybe 8 to 10 times. But for the most part, the guy will call me while his wife or girlfriend is at work, and he'll tell me what's going on, how they courted this bull. Like, okay, for example, you had a couple that was going out, they dressed up, they went out on a date. And while they were out, they were searching the area, be it the restaurant, the bar, the club, whatever they at, and they would approach, this bull and explain to them, what they're about and what the situation is. And if the bull is down, then they either go back to the couple's house or they go to a hotel.
How do you start that conversation? Like, hey, nice to meet you. Here's my wife. Can you fuck her later?
Well, let me well, usually what happens is the wife will approach the bull, and after she approaches him, then she'll bring him to the table or wherever, her husband or boyfriend is sitting at, and they'll have a conversation. Because typically, the average man might feel uncomfortable if you got a man and woman coming to you saying, hey, this is what we do, are you down?
Okay.
I'm trying to think of how this man sitting at the table, and then this bull walk up and so.
But
The guy's gonna fuck my wife tonight, huh? What kind of shit is this? That's some
Now,
shit.
yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Go ahead, Cabana. Go ahead, because I see it.
so, because my thing is, so this, okay, for me, this is, of course, blowing my mind because I'm so in a very basic mind frame, you know what I mean? Because I speak more as a single person, and in my head, as a single person, to me, pornography is going to make more sense because I'm still a virgin. You know what I'm saying? I have not participated, and that's by a choice. But the thing about it is, it's I know that's a simple. You're just trying to release an urge or whatever. But what you're saying right now is like almost people are calling for these full on throttle fantasies. And it just makes me think, like, not saying why in a negative sense, but it is a huge why. Why would you need such a dramatic fantasy in order to be relieved? And I hope I'm not being offensive in what I'm saying. It's
I don't
really
think
No,
you are.
I understand. No, not at all. I completely understand. I believe it's unfortunate he can't satisfy his wife. And now I don't know if these people are telling me the truth or not. But again, at the end of the day, my job is to keep them on the phone as long as possible because time is money. So when I talk to them and I ask them, okay, well, how long is your cock? How big is it? And they'll usually tell me 2 inches or 3 inches or this, that, and the third. So now they know that they can't satisfy their wife.
Look, ting.
Yeah. So usually the penis is usually 2 inches, possibly 3 inches long. Okay. and it's not that big, and they know that they cannot satisfy their wives. So for that reason, to give their wife or their girlfriend pleasure, they will go out and seek a bull who's typically 8 inches or larger to satisfy their wife.
That's stupid.
Is she gonna be able to handle that? Because
Be a virgin.
if she used to
And then
hit
she don't even
2,
know no better.
3, and then you jump to 8.
I mean, usually that's what the women want. That's what they want. And so it's just, an agreement that they have.
So she used to it. Never mind. Go ahead.
But no, but that could also mean, just because she married the 2-incher doesn't mean she ain't had 5, 6s before.
Right.
She married the 2, 3-incher.
Now that don't make no sense.
Yes, it does.
No, hold on. As a grown ass man, you don't sit here and tell me a woman done had 6, 7, 8 on up, right? But gonna marry a 2 to 3-incher.
Think about it.
Now,
The only thing I can think about is for the money.
Yes, it's for the money. Exactly.
But you
It's for the
can
money.
marry for love.
Exactly. Now,
I must say, there's plenty of people that are mugger wives out here, and they are with them because they love them. So I don't think that people marry for sex. I think sex is a part of marriage, but I think when people last long, it's because their communication is strong. And then you can look at them and be like, that don't make no sense what it looks like on the outside, but on the inside, it's another story. Because there's always, I may not be explicit or in it, but there's ways for people to satisfy, I think, their partners. And this is like letting me see, like, this might be the extreme way for someone to be satisfied. Because if someone is mentally satisfying you and takes care of your needs, and the only thing is, and that's not to say women have things that don't work too. You know what I'm saying? That maybe that's the situation that will help them last. You know what I mean? Because I can't see a person leaving a person. Well, I can't see it, but it shouldn't be just because of sex.
Right.
Because there's so many ways that I think people can be satisfied. Because I know for a fact, I ain't married, I ain't doing nothing. And so therefore, I think first of all, this whole conversation is just baffling.
Oh, right? I know.
Back to all this, like, this is blowing my head. Like,
I need to hear another fetish. You said something about sissy, but go ahead, Kela.
Real quick about Cabana. I think once you start having sex, you will notice that once you are maybe used to one thing or you experience one thing, then you start wanting to experience other things. It kind of opens your mind. And so you can go down a road where you just start off like with missionary sex and then end up in, somewhere else on, in this world of pornography or in the adult sex industry. So once you start going down that rabbit hole, it's fun.
And then some people have different not different requirements. Like Carmen was saying, different people have different fetishes. So if you just like this regular vanilla sex and that's good for you, then that's cool. But if you realize, okay, wait a minute, I think I like it when they're a little more aggressive with me. I like to be flip-flopped. I want you to be able to throw me on the bed. Then that becomes a little bit boring. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, well, what about some toys? Let's bring some toys in. But there's some people that'll be like, nah, they won't even go to the toy level. Yeah. And you got other people in their life, they on that 50 Shades of Grey level. And so it just depends, look, not that I'm against 50 Shades of Grey. That book was vanilla to me. So I'm just saying that it depends on what you've experienced. And it's really difficult to be able to say the progression from the very first time I had sex to now. Yeah, we are not the same.
Right. I mean, you meet new people, they introduce you to different things, and then you become sexually who you become because of those experiences.
Right. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Watching different things, or being with someone who has already experienced some of those things. So they're introducing it to you. So let's say, whenever someone does have sex, and let's say, you know, for the first time or whatever, it's like, oh, it's just missionary. So that's all they know at that point. But you then meet someone and, you know, you guys like each other, and that person is well versed in so many different things. So they're showing you doggy style. They're showing you, you know, that, oh, well, I'm gonna bend you over the sofa, or let's do something outside in the car or in public. Or, you know, people have different fetishes. So at that point, I definitely understand, you know, like he was said, going down that rabbit hole, because you learn so many different things that start with just you and that one partner that, you know, some people may like gangbang, or some people may want to do something with, you know, 2 or 3 partners. You know, there's so many different avenues to go down once you open up Pandora's box. You have a plethora of things.
Like,
and there may be stuff that you just want to watch. There may be stuff that you don't even want to do. There may be stuff that you're just like, I'll watch that. Yeah. I don't mind watching it, but don't bring that over here to me. I won't do it, but I'll watch it. And it's not just
because that's what I thought it was. I thought it's a mystery.
Right.
I thought it was that kind of thing where it's phone sex and videos are doing things that you want to do in the more head space, but not in the like physical space. And so I guess that's where I'm going off. Like she's saying, Olga was basically saying, I'm saying like this stuff go down. I'm like, really? I thought it was just like, you know, okay, cool. And that's why I was more concerned about the OnlyFans thing, because it's more of a physical space instead of being like the art of erotica or mystery. Because I think, you know, going to a strip club, especially, I mean, women that really do all the things, I think it's really dope. But, you know, I feel like, what is that line at? But she said, and I hope she says it again, because I think it's wonderful to hear from a professional as opposed to someone that's just talking about their own concerns plus the joys of it. Like, when she just said with the first fetish, I thought she was going to talk about feet or choking or something. She went from 2 feet to the 12 feet rule. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, let's see how deep this pool goes.
Yeah, go ahead, say it again.
Let's see how deep this pool goes.
I know.
Ever Carmen?
Yeah, so it's Carmen. Question for you. What is your typical, what's like the demographic of your typical customer?
Actually, I don't know where they're calling from. They could be anywhere. Mm-hmm. You know.
Type of person more so.
Are they black, white, Chinese?
White male. Your typical white male.
Mm.
Okay.
Now more well educated, or is it more
all walks of life. And I say that because, you know, just listening to how they talk and how they pronunciate words and stuff like that, you know, I hate to go there, but you know how you got people, how they talking, if they're from the ghetto versus you got people that talk that's highly educated. And I say this because I've had doctors call me, I've had lawyers call me, and then I've had Johnny from down the street also call me. You know what I'm saying? Because of, you know, you just listen to how they speak. So, you know, and you try to stay on their level, but then when they start talking about different types of surgeries and stuff, I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. but it's your typical white male with the occasional. I've had a couple of black men and a couple of Latino, but majority of my clientele base is white.
I have a question for Eva Carmen. Now, when it comes to the white males that call, whatever their economic level can handle, how long they can stay on the phone or not, and then when it comes to your Latino or your black males that call, like, which calls are like the weirdest when it comes to the fantasy and the nymphs and all that niche and all that stuff they want to do and talk about? Just
the white males. because the Black men and the Latino men, I mean, it's just, I'd be lucky if I can get 5, maybe 9 minutes out of them before they done. And then it's the white males where, they want to stay. No, but see.
Look, he thought he was trying to get him in the loophole. He was about to say, so who crazier in the bed? And it came out, black men come quick.
The white dude is staying on the phone longer. He's still on the phone longer. He can't satisfy nobody anyway.
The time is money. Black men,
right.
Black men,
men, they ain't gonna waste too much money. They probably like in a drought at the moment. Like, you know what? Let me 877.
Exactly.
Let me get this in for the kids come downstairs.
Right. They going for the shot. They like, hey, yeah, I gotta go. And
exactly. Exactly. That's exactly how it is.
Very well. So, that improv was great.
Hey, I'm great at improvisations. Okay.
Look at.
Why did he take off his glasses and ask the question like he was Brian Gumble? I was
don't know. Hey, listen. Inquiring minds would like.
Come with it.
Wow. Okay, so has your business increased or decreased since COVID?
It's decreased.
Really?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you for 2 reasons. Number one, yes, I have a clientele base, but my clientele base is not that big. That's the first thing. Number 2, since the virus, everybody's home. The kids are home. Their wives are home. A lot of these guys that call me, their wives don't know that they're calling me. Number 1. Number 2, they can't get away to call me because they got kids at the house. So, I haven't been in this long enough to have a ironclad, strong clientele base.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, to give you an example, there's a chick on the platform, I'm not gonna say her name. She's been in this for over 10 years. She makes anywhere between $18,000 to $20,000 a month on the platform alone.
Let me get
okay.
But she's not even like.
Let me get my voice together.
Huh?
That's just on the phone?
No, that is a combination of, she sells pictures, she sells audio, she's on the phone, and she's probably doing affiliate marketing. So, because on the as far as I know, no, because I was able to see her stats on the platform. She showed it to me, and it shows the payout. And the payout has a breakdown of how much money she made in each section. So, like, how much money she made from selling audios, how much money she made from selling her goodie bags, which are her pictures.
It makes sense.
How much money she made in tips, because you're allowed to tip the person. So my biggest tip that I've received on a call, in addition to my per minute rate, my per minute rate is $2.33 a minute. That's my per minute rate. And then after the call, I got a tip for $260.
Wow. Just for talking.
Yeah.
But it makes sense now though, because the white dudes is gonna pay that money. Them black dudes, Latinos ain't gonna pay that.
Right. Absolutely. Exactly. Now, I wanted to touch base on these other fetishes. The other fetish that I had to learn was
other fetish you got.
Yeah, we need to watch Cabana's face, because this episode is all about Cabana's faces right now.
Sissies. Sissies is a fetish where typically some of the guys are married to a woman, and when the wife goes off to work, they like to dress up in her lingerie, put her panties on and stockings and put on lipstick and stuff like that. And then they'll call me and tell me, that they're feeling slutty. And so, you want to just talk to them about, how they think about what they're wearing and how they feel and everything. Hold on. I need to make sure that okay.
Wow.
And so now this one particular sissy, this is about 2 weeks ago, he called me and he wanted me to make appointments for him to get waxed. He wanted his legs waxed, his lip, and his back, and he wanted to get his hair done and his toes done. So he actually told me where he lived at, and I researched. I had to find the salon that did those things that he wanted. I called the salon. Now, granted, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so they shut down. But it's the fact that he wanted me to call. So listen, after I called and I told him, okay, listen, I spoke to the owner. I gave him the address, the phone number, and everything. Just because I did that, he gave me $50. Just because I did that. So
in addition to your per minute rate.
Yes. So now he paid me 3 different times. One, I think the first time was $20, the second time was $35, and the third one was $50. Okay. Now getting back to you, Cabana, you said about the feet. Yes, you got some men that are really into this foot fetish. I just recently started my OnlyFans account just for feet, and it ain't doing too good. But I'm working on it. So
tell me about the OnlyFans account, because that is actually one of the things that brought up this conversation.
Yeah.
Well, so Kavana sent me a link a couple weeks ago about a new show that's getting ready to come on that's backed by Black China. It's coming on the Zeus network, and it's called OnlyCam LA. And what they are talking about are these OnlyFans pages. Now, I didn't know what the heck it was. I didn't even get time to research what it was. But then I started hearing people talking about these OnlyFans pages. So what's going on with that? Explain that. What is it, and how is that going to impact? Anybody can actually answer this. How is this going to impact the adult entertainment industry?
OnlyFans is a platform where you can subscribe. You pay a monthly fee, and the list of girls that are on there, whoever you like, when you click on them and you subscribe, you pay the monthly fee that they have set, and they upload pictures and videos and stuff of themselves every day, or maybe 2 times a day, or more. And it is a lot of sex, of course. And me personally, I think I remember Cabana saying something about how much is too far. Like when do you reach that point where it's just too far, So for me, like I said, I'm always showing my feet, everything about my feet. So I haven't started smashing my toes into cakes and putting honey on my toes, but that's my plans, is to do that, because you have men who like that.
They do.
You have men that like that enjoy seeing women's toes that are smashing into cakes, or you drizzle honey or milk, or have them in a bubble bath surrounded with rose petals, you name it. So I'm getting creative, I'm working on it, but that's as far as I will take it, only because I respect myself.
I was looking. There are people on this platform that are making like $150,000 a month.
Absolutely.
I'm like, that's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? What are you doing to make this much money a month?
Okay. I think a lot of it has to do with, and again, I hate to go there, but we live in a society where if you're pretty, you can kind of get away with certain things, or you get promoted faster, this, that, and the third. So I believe everyone is beautiful no matter what. However,
come on,
for those who are looking like I don't know, give me some names of some famous people that's really, really pretty.
I don't know.
Okay.
Kim Kardashian's pretty.
Yeah. And I was gonna use her. But yeah, so when you got people that look like her, and they're putting on these really sexy outfits, these string line bikinis, and putting baby oil on their skin, it hypes it up. You know what I'm saying? They're already beautiful to begin with. And then they got pretty skin. And then you put baby oil on them. And then you got somebody in there rubbing and touching and carrying on. And then it's how they set the scene. It hypes everything up. And it makes you want to look at it. So if you see the clip and they teasing you with the clip, you're going to want to subscribe to that channel to get the full video.
Right.
And
do you think that platforms like that are going to phase out like phone sex lines?
I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because sex sells. Sex sells, and because sex gives you a rush. You know, when you're in that moment, it's a rush like nothing else. You know, the feeling, you can't get that feeling anywhere else or from anything else. Now, a true story, there's a girl that's on there. I'm not going to say her name. She started because she caught her boyfriend on the site, and it was causing issues. And so, since her boyfriend was always on the site, she decided, well, I'm going to start an account. And she blew up. Like, she blew up. And I think her boyfriend wasn't expecting her to take off like that. And so, they're not together anymore. But girlfriend is making bank. She's making bank. I mean,
but that's the craziness, though.
It is crazy. Now, for the most part, I mean, I haven't really seen her with a whole lot of sexual partners because she's also on Pornhub.
Just said.
Hold on. So wait. She jumped from
Only
the girlfriend of a guy who calls a sex line to Pornhub.
So is that rabbit hole?
That's that rabbit hole.
No, but see, that's
That is that rabbit hole.
I don't want to go down that hole.
Hey, for real.
That's the rabbit hole. It's yeah.
But
go ahead. What you say, Greg?
That OnlyFans stuff and like able to have accounts on like Pornhub and things like that. All they doing is just like how they say in the music, they running off on the plug instead of dealing with these producers for these major production companies. They just doing it themselves. They cutting the middleman out and making all the money themselves.
Right.
But is it the middleman though? Is that the middleman, or is this what the danger line is? Because I'm so glad that we got to this section. My thing is, this is a regular person. This is not a person that chose to be in pornography. This is not a person that chose to show herself. I follow this one guy on Instagram, great model. Look him up, Kela. His name is Flashman Wave for the women out there. He's a good-looking guy, right? He was putting out books. He was doing all he was supposed to do, you know, what models do. And then all of a sudden, I just started noticing he was getting a lot of fluctuation from men and women, like going at it, like, you know, and I was like, what is going on? What's going on? And this is how first I heard about the fans only page. When you go to the fans only page, when I went there, first of all, I'm not spending a monthly fee. I got paid. I got to eat. I got a phone bill.
I know that's right.
Charging $21 a month to subscribe. Not only is he doing that, it's a whole setup. And he is breaking down, do you want me to shave or do you want me to do this and all this other stuff. And he's the main guy in this special that is happening on May 16th. And I love what I think they're going to show. They're showing the fabulous, but they're showing what's the negative of it too. Because now, he's basically showing his butt. He's showing his privates. He's getting more and more and more. And I'm thinking, like, what will you do? You know, they talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine as far as snitching. I think anybody that puts themselves in a place where they cannot go get a regular job, it becomes dangerous.
Right.
Because people are they're not going to want to work with you.
Right.
They're just going to look at you as a liability instead of an asset. And so I just feel like this is not erotica. It's not a getaway. This is now becoming like 16-year-olds, because I know a few of them, and I had to talk to them, don't do it. And there's like, it ain't nothing. It's just my private parts. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it.
But
that is what's bothering me.
They don't make the conscious decision to be porn stars. That's them making the conscious decision when they get the page and start doing the porn shit.
No, that means that they're being an influencer, not to disagree, to agree. But when a 16-year-old says everybody's doing it,
they cutting out the person they gotta pay, and they getting all the money and keeping it themselves.
Y'all talking about two different.
Yeah, I think you're missing what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's wrong, from my perspective, for a 16-year-old to have the choice to think that showing their body.
No, okay. We agree with that. We agree with that. But there was a point. There was a point in your conversation when you started, when we were talking about the girl going from the girlfriend of a guy who calls people,
right,
and jumped to Pornhub. And there was a statement where you said, but she didn't make the conscious decision to become a porn star. And what Greg is saying, yes, she did. She became an operator and then somehow got on Pornhub.
Right.
No, she got, now Pornhub is when she decided to become a porn star. She got OnlyFans because, like most women and men, when they get hurt, they wanted revenge. That wasn't a decision to become a porn star. That was a decision for revenge.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. She jumped on OnlyFans to get revenge on her boyfriend, talking about, okay, you want to keep looking at all these women on OnlyFans, I'm going to show you. I'm going to jump on there. Now what?
Yeah.
So I know that when she jumped on there, she wasn't expecting to be, make the success that she's made thus far. Girlfriend is big. She's badass, and she's gorgeous.
Right.
She's gorgeous. And
I know he regrets it now. I said I know he regrets not just getting off the OnlyFans now.
Absolutely, right. You know it. Absolutely.
But do you really think he would regret though? Because
I think he regrets not taking her serious, because he now doesn't have the chance to capitalize on this money she's making.
It's quite
like,
possible.
Hey, I could be your manager.
Yeah,
that's what he should have did.
He didn't support her dream. But you think about it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kela. Go ahead.
I was just saying he should have just respected. Look, if you want to be with me, this makes me uncomfortable. You being on OnlyFans and all this stuff, and he didn't. And that was just a breakdown in their relationship. And so and another breakdown. This probably just shows they wasn't supposed to be together, because then she decided to be petty. And now they're split up. But if he would have just respected how she felt and as a woman, and in this relationship, then they probably might have still been together.
Yeah, they could have did it together.
But now he's popping and he's not.
There's couples that do these kind of things together.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, we were joking. It was just jokes. We're not really gonna do it. But again, when I heard that man on that clip say he made $150,000 last month, I said, "What? For doing what?" Jokingly, I was like, "So, Reese, what's up? Let's get some masks, like Money Heist, and let's get it popping. Like, let's just find something. Like, let's go. Let's go.
Learn your angles.
Right, look, I got a phone. Look, I don't have no iPhone 11, but if that's what it takes, let's get an iPhone 11 and a tripod, and let's get it popping. Look, I only need 1 or 2 episodes and we done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're like, I'm just trying to stay off my house. That's all.
Cut them up in clips.
I mean, I will say this. I would not.
You are anonymous. If you are anonymous.
Somebody gonna see my tattoo, yo. Nah. They gonna know that's, look, they gonna know this. Nah.
Me and be like, hold on, is that?
Right. I'ma say something. They could be like, oh, ain't that Disney? Hold on a second. Nah, I can't. I look, again, I'm not against anybody who wants to. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they want to do, if that's the lifestyle that they choose, I support you, just like if you chose to go to college. Chose to be on Pornhub. If you made the choice, I'ma support you.
Wait.
Long as you of age.
But yes, you got to be of age.
Go forward. Tell your business.
Right.
As long as you're of age.
Send me my money.
Okay, so this is my thing. Real quick. It grits me because I don't want to say something negative because I believe even hearing Carmen speak, I can tell like she got that whole MC Light type of thing in her voice. You know, I can see it. You know, and I think, like I said, the art of mystery in sex is, I think, is always beautiful to me. But I feel like we glorify the possibilities of positivity being number one, and that negativity is number one instead. Like, we don't even get a chance to push. I mean, Tyrone said it first. He was like, you know, a lot of times, basically, you know, a person could be doing something on the up and up, but then they'll take the easier route. You know, pretty people, we know commercial pretty. We know what that is, especially in the Black community. Unfortunately, light skin, color eyes, good hair, whatever that means, good hair. But you know what I'm saying? All those things, but we never, ever just fight for what could be the number one. And I think even in dialogues like this, I get so nervous because it's like almost like we go to, well, you know, it's not me, but if it's good for you, no, it's not good for you.
No, I'm talking about, what I'm saying is this, no. I have no problem with the adult entertainment industry as a whole, okay? I understand that you are basically providing content for entertainment purposes for adults. Do I have a problem with there being a child pornography server in all 50 states? Yes, I have a problem with that. Do I have a problem do I have a problem knowing that some, not all, of the actors and actresses in adult entertainment films suffer from depression, PTSD, they're on drugs, they've been suicidal. Not all, but some. But guess what? So do people on Wall Street. So do people who are in the military. So I can't say, ooh, because you had sex on camera, that's worse PTSD than someone who's out there killing people in Afghanistan.
Right.
So to me, let's look at the balance now. Let's look at it. Do I have a problem? I don't have a problem with how much money it makes. Cool, if it's the right type of stuff. But I have a problem if 130 or 13 billion of it is coming from looking at children. I have a problem of the sex trafficking portion of the adult entertainment industry. But there's always negative connotations in any industry. Because all of the things that I just named also happen in the music industry.
Right.
But do you think that's a problem because, once again, glorification of something that you can get stimulated for, far as sex, you're getting all that money, just like football, any of these things, and things like education, things that are needed, you don't get the money. And I know people are like, come on, that's really extreme. No, but it's the truth. Because the thing about it is we're basically saying that this is, you know, is getting all this money. How can we get people to understand to make that switch? And that's what I'm saying, is like not belittling what Carmen, my sister, has shared with us, because it's been very enlightening and I appreciate it. But I also know that she was like, this is something that she was just choosing, you know, find a little some money, whatever the case may be. But what if there were things that were just open for her to be a motivational speaker with that voice that she had? Because her voice is dope. I'm always looking at, like, not saying the negative is the sex thing, but I'm saying how dope would a line be that people could call in to hear motivational words from people that have great voices that command, you know, inspiration. You get what I'm saying? I'm always looking like, why is this other stuff making money, but not the good stuff?
It
But
might
that hasn't been created.
It might be. I don't, and it has to be. And that you can do that.
You see what I'm saying? It hasn't been created.
That's all I want to say.
You know, I do
that's
get
all I
what
want,
you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying, bro, but I still have to disagree with you, though. I have to disagree with you because at the end of the day, I don't care if you are taking 6 dicks to the goddamn face or you taking 6 people and motivating them. If you're doing something that's feeding your family or feeding you and helping you sustain, I'm gonna push that positivity. Do what you do. I'm not taking 6 dicks to the face, and I'm not either about to sit out here and make a phone line where I'm gonna motivate people.
That's kind of dangerous.
But then here's the flip. Are we all not on a platform right now?
Exactly.
To motivate people in one way, shape, form, or fashion. Exactly. Now, are we gonna get $13 billion from it?
No.
Not unless Kela shows the giddies. That's the only way we go make money. But but the thing is that we understand that not just the United States, the world as a whole operates in that fashion. It would be great to spin a bottle and be like, hey, let's make things different. But this pornography, the porn industry's been in business since like the 1900s.
I mean, this is our primal instinct. This is one of the things that is natural to human nature. You know, everything else that we have, our jobs, our schools, like being educated and everything, all of that is extra that we have as humans have put into our lives. But what comes natural to us is sex. So this is, you know, we've been doing this since the beginning of time and we'll be doing it until the end.
That's true. Because when you think about it, look at the old sculptures and the old pictures and art that are throughout history. Stuff from the Roman Empire and Greek mythology. All of these pictures and the sculptures that you see, you know, people are showing everything and they're drawing and sculpting people's bodies to the exact form of exactly what they are. So you're seeing a woman's breast and you're seeing a man's penis. So they are putting it out there as exactly what it is,
right.
Which continues into where we are right now. And the same thing we were saying, I think it was a few episodes ago, where folks overseas don't see sex the way we do in America, in the Western civilization, the Western hemisphere. So when you look at it, you can't necessarily, I don't want to say what you can't do, but it's kind of hard to look at it and say, you know, what's not right about it or what's wrong about it or what is right and what's wrong about it, because that's up to each person, you know, to look at it at whatever your prerogative is and what your thoughts are on it. Like, okay, we can go to Amsterdam and hang out in the red light district. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that because that's wrong. Well, that shit makes me feel good and I like it, and
it's fun
about it, and it's fun.
It's fun.
Okay, by all means.
That is Western Christian mentality.
Right.
Period.
That's what that is.
Let's not forget that.
What'd you say?
I said put up by the patriarchy. Let's not forget that.
I'm just saying, you know, like she was just saying, in other countries, I did 6 years in Europe, loved it. Them jokers had titties and got daggone fabric softener commercials.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
They have porn
billboards on the side of the road
or to elementary, like a daycare center. It's very open in Germany to where it's not looked at as a taboo thing. So it's also not like demonized, you know what I mean? Because that is a part of your human nature to be a sexual being. And so if you're looking at it like in a negative, with a negative connotation to it, then I think that's when it can be abused. But if you have a more positive outlook, like this is just something that satisfies me, I'm not gonna, you know, abuse it, then it can have a more positive effect on a person's life.
And I agree with the abuse. I agree with that. I think that in moderation, I believe that porn is fine. I do understand that there are several people out there that are addicted to porn.
The majority.
Right. They're addicted. And then there's also studies where they've talked about the actual long-term mental effects of having, you know, of being addicted to pornography, and also in turn with children. It's showing now that like 11 is the average age that a child is exposed to porn, and 94% of children will see porn by the age of 14. I can probably say I think I saw porn about 13, 14, first time. And I mean, I remember, what's crazy. I remember the very first pornographic thing I saw, even now at my age. I remember I know where I was. I know what I saw, all of that. You know, did it deter me in my life? No, but I remember that. And you know, even like I said, now in life, my children, we do not sit around and watch porn, but we do watch like the dance videos from my husband's home country. They dance. Their dances look a whole lot more seductive than the dances that you see on, you know, BET, MTV, YouTube, you know, Meg Thee Stallion type deal. But in that culture, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. And at first, my westernized self was like, yo, don't let my son watch, don't let him watch that. And my husband was like, why? What is the problem? What's the problem with this video? You are watching it out of a sexual set of eyes. He's not. And guess what? He said, and guess what's going to happen in the future? He is not going to be fazed by a big butt and a smile.
Yeah.
Because he sees them already. His aunties, his Oma, and these videos, these music videos that have no sexual undertones to it at all. You know what I mean? So I think that he's maybe even more exposed, but again, not pornography, but more exposed to it where it's not glamorified. It's not a big deal. Now, what I will say is I do agree that, at least from the clips that I saw from what you sent me, I think this is going to be a lot. I'm going to watch it because I want to see what this show is going to be about. But I think the piece that bothers me more than anything is the body modifications of the women that are in some of these new videos. I 100% agree with Cool Candice when she was saying, hey, you look back in the day, actual depictions of the real human body. And I have a feeling that in this show we're getting ready to watch, we're going to see a whole lot of unreal behind, unreal ass, unreal titties, unreal.
Absolutely.
Unreal. And I think that is more of an issue, honestly, than the actual sexual act.
Absolutely.
Because you've got girls watching this wondering, well, why don't my breasts look like that?
Right.
Why doesn't my butt look like that? But we get that same look in magazines. We can look at magazines and they don't look like we look on a regular basis either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I don't know. We definitely ain't gonna solve it today.
I got another question for Miss Forever Carmen.
Yes.
All right, Brian Gumble.
So, leave me alone. All right, so this is what I want to know now. You told me that the white guys were the ones with the weirdest calls.
Yes.
But what was the weirdest call?
Oh.
Look at Kela. Kela's him on.
No, listen. The reason I asked that, before you answer, the reason I asked that is because being mentally drained is being mentally drained. And doing what you're doing, whether, you know, you're a singer, you're a hairstylist, I don't know exactly what you do, Candice.
He's a secret agent.
Yeah. Or working with other people's kids.
I'm sick.
You can get mentally drained from dealing with the job. So first part of the question is the weirdest call you had to deal with, but one of the most draining calls you ever had.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that. That's a good question.
The weirdest call was, I had a guy call who wanted me to play his mother, and just going into descriptive detail of the baby, like infant stage. And you know, he had on a diaper, and and wanted to describe how he's suckling for breast milk, and it was a turn on for him, and it was draining for me because I was trying to figure out, most of these calls, some of it comes to me as I'm on the call, or you just trying to find different avenues to go with the flow to stretch the call, because again, at the end of the day, my goal is to keep you on the phone as long as possible.
Right.
Okay. Right. So that was draining, but that was the weirdest call because, he's calling me mommy, and then he's talking in this baby voice. It's a grown man talking in this baby voice. And then, after he had climaxed, he's telling me that he made a mess. I made a mess, mommy, and so, of course, now luckily my phone set that I got has mute. I was cracking the fuck up.
That was my next question.
Okay. So, after he told me he made a mess, I didn't know what else to say. So I said, well, go ahead and clean it up because mommy don't like messes. So clean it up. So.
That dude sounds crazy.
But yeah, that was the weirdest call, and that was the most draining because, again, you're on the phone, so it's your job to feed their imagination with descriptive detail.
Was there ever a call that you got that you were just like, nah, I can't,
Yeah.
I cannot do this call?
Yeah, well, the platform has oh gosh, what is it called? It's called Playfair Basics. So these are no-nos, absolute no-nos. Like, you just cannot talk about these things. You can't talk about scat. You know what scat is?
Oh, shit.
Shit, yeah. You can't talk about that. And you can't talk about the father having sex with his daughter. And you get, again,
but you can do it the other way?
yeah. Yeah.
We just are
Hey, it's called His Story, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, but I've had a couple of guys, that will call, and, once it gets started, I would not know what they were talking about until we're on the phone for, a little while. And then once I realize where they're going with this, I interrupt the call. My apologies. I'll be forced to end this call if you don't stop talking like that.
Okay. So is there anything that's
money,
not
right?
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So if you don't check them, quote unquote, if you don't check them and stop them when they're doing the no-nos, that messes with your money, huh?
No, it's just you're not supposed to do it. I mean, luckily the phone calls are not recorded. That's a good thing. But sometimes they may have what you call them, I guess secret callers from the company to call to see if you're following to do what you're supposed to do.
Gotcha.
Or if not, what you'll do is you may have a client to call and see if they could push the limit in talking about these certain things, and then they'll complain to whoever to say, hey, I just got off a call with so-and-so and so-and-so, and we talked about XYZ.
Oh, knowing that it's something you're not supposed to talk.
Right.
So they basically try to snitch on you. They
exactly.
lie.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
So, okay, so what you gave me was like the website standards of what you're not allowed to discuss. Are you as an individual allowed to be like, this is some stuff I don't want to talk about? Like, do you have the freedom to be like, nah?
Me personally, I'm not comfortable with the whole daddy-daughter thing. But other than that, I'll talk about everything else under the sun. Why? Because you're going to pay me. There's other ways. I mean, you can't send a message on the platform saying, hey, here's my Cash App information. But since the phone call is not recorded, I can easily give them my Cash App information and then have a second line, And so if they want to talk about scat, okay, bet. You go to my Cash App, you deposit XYZ dollars into that account, and then you call me on this line.
She said it. She can cut out the plug if she want to.
Right, because here's the thing. The platform gets 30% of what you make.
Wow.
Okay,
I
so
was just talking
now
shit.
listen, it's not that bad because I keep 70%. Okay? I keep 70%. The platform gets that 30%. Okay?
But if you do the Cash App, you get 100%.
Right, exactly.
Cut out the
Right.
middleman.
Right.
Cut out the middleman.
They help you get the clients.
Huh?
They help, like, that's the platform gets a 30% because people already know about it, and so that helps you get that clientele without being out there and marketing.
Right, because once you set up your profile, and once you log in, you know, the guys are gonna be clicking through all the other girls' pages, and if they come across your page, that 30% includes the connection fee and the fee that they charge for them to be able to talk to you.
And that's basic economics right there. Cause look, they get her the clients, right? And she pay that money to get the clients, but she could take them to a whole nother number because the calls ain't fucking recorded. She could take them to a whole nother number and get 100% of their money through a Cash App. If that ain't entrepreneurship, I don't know what is. I'm just saying, I still want to push the positivity.
I mean, again, it's not something I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to do phone, maybe. I don't want to be seen. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be seen. I don't want to be shaking anything anywhere where my children can possibly Google me and be like, "That's mommy booty." I just
that's why I do that.
Yeah, that's right. I can definitely get with that. I probably wouldn't be able to talk about. I probably wouldn't be able to talk about nearly as many things that you're talking about right now. I'd probably be real uncomfortable talking about a lot of that stuff, but it is what it is. So we're gonna do the round around for this episode. So takeaway thoughts, Mr. Tyrone Greggory.
Oh shit, you gonna come to me first?
Yeah, I'm coming to you first. Come on, Brian. There you go.
At the end of the day, no matter what industry you are in, there's always gonna be negatives, there's gonna be ups, and there's gonna be downs. Period, point blank. Whatever it is that you do, as long as you are doing it for a positive reason to help yourself or your family, I have no problem with what you're doing. I may not do it. I may have a problem with me doing it. But for you to do it, do whatever the fuck you feel.
All right. Miss Cool Candice.
I'm going to piggyback on that because that's exactly how I feel about it. Like, there are so many different things, no matter what industry you're a part of, whether you're working in the corporate sector, or you're working privately, you're working for yourself, or you're in the adult entertainment industry. If you're doing what you love, even if you don't love it, you're trying to pay bills and it's making things happen for you, as long as it ain't nothing illegal, by all means, go for it. Balls to the wall, run it.
I think that's a fetish, Candice. I think that's a fetish. I'm making a balls to the wall call. Can you take this call? All right, Miss Kela.
I would just say go down that rabbit hole one toe at a time, okay? Because it's very vast. There's lots of things going on, but I think it can be really fun if you do it in a safe way that protects you and the partner or partners that you're doing it with, and just, have fun. We only got one life.
YOLO.
Okay. Miss Carmen, any last words in reference to the adult entertainment industry, the effect on your life, anything you want to share with us for the last thoughts?
Yeah, something that I've noticed since I've been doing this is a lot of the other women that I've spoken to on a personal level, a lot of them are afraid to tell their families because their families will judge them and look down on them for what they do. Some of them actually show their faces, which I can understand why, because, you could be bringing shame to your family, which is the main reason why I purchase models, because I'm sorry, I'm just not. I I refuse to put my face out there. So, but yeah, this is quick, easy money. I will tell you that. The money is quick and it's easy. If you have an imagination and you don't mind talking to people, you know, you can do this forever and a day. This is something that I don't see myself stopping this. Like, even if I switch down to part-time or maybe 2 days a week, you have clients that will be looking for you. You know, if you set there you go. Yeah, absolutely. You have clients that will be looking for you at a certain time of the day or a certain day of the week, you know, which that's another thing. You have to be consistent with your schedule. So you can't get up there one day on Monday and then be gone for 3 days and then come back on Friday and the next week you up there on Tuesday. You have to be consistent with your schedule because after a while your clients will start looking for you. But at the end of the day, as long as you are remaining safe, it's unfortunate some women are not. They are actually meeting clients off the site. I do not recommend that at all. I can't tell you how many guys that call me who want to engage and meet me and try to find out where you at. Never tell them where you are.
Right.
Never tell them where you are. The state that I'm living in, I may say I'm in Washington State. That's nowhere near where I actually live at.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, you never want to give out your personal information ever for safety reasons.
Right.
But I would say to anyone, if you're looking to make extra money to either, for you to pad your savings account or for you to take a vacation or purchase a home or whatever have you, this is awesome. This is a perfect platform to make quick, easy money for you to pad whatever you're trying to do. Just be safe with it.
That's what's up. Okay, so Mr. Cabana Blaq is over there stewing in his own thoughts, and that is exactly why I saved him to the end for him to respond. The wrap up. What are your thoughts?
I was hoping you was not saving me for last.
I had to, because I had to.
I would just say, first of all, I would like to say to Miss Carmen, thank you so much. I appreciate your transparency and just being with us. That was just really dope. And every show, I learned something more about me. And I would say to anyone watching from this conversation, that is the key. I cannot agree. I do not agree. Because I am the person that wants to build a bridge instead of a ditch. And I think that a lot of times we choose that ditch instead of that bridge. As an artist, as an entrepreneur, I've always, even when it came to EPT, getting food, I said, I'm only going to do it once because I need to choose another way because it's really for people that have a need. And as long as you have 2 feet, hands, breathe, walk, talk, I believe that you can have a choice to do a change for, I feel, mentally something positive. I feel like after listening to the conversation, there was a lot of things that showed me that this can be very mentally draining. Yeah, in life, there are lots of things that can drain you, but when you're dealing with sex, religion, all those kind of things, it comes in abundance. Mm-hmm. So for me, I encourage people to find the bridge and not the ditch in your life. One toe at a time, like my sister girl said, as far as the rabbit hole. And whenever I go to the rabbit hole, girl, I'm going to go one pinky toe at a time because I do not want to fall in.
Right.
Oh, God. Okay, so I believe that we have had a extremely enlightening conversation this show. I piggyback off of Cabana. Thank you so much, Forever Carmen. As soon as they suggested this episode, I was like, I already know who I'm calling to get on this. Just to let you guys know, like I said, I have known Carmen for a long time. if you would have asked me 15, 20 years ago if this is what she would be doing, I would have called bullshit, to be perfectly honest. But I guess with me knowing who this person is, knowing their morals, their values, their standards, it made me think of people in the adult sex industry in a whole other light. Because you think, when you hear phone sex operators, you think that you're, all of them are walking around looking like Megan Thee Stallion. And, you know what I'm saying? They're just scantily clad and, you know, maybe altered proportions and, you know, just stereotype. And she is not that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. This woman is a hustler from jump. And I was proud to know that that was something that she wanted. First, I was like, nah, are you joking? Are you serious? And then the more she talked about it and told me what it was about, I was like, well, this is kind of like my telemarketing job that I had in, you know, this is like West, this is like Nextel, this is like West, right? Yes, because I worked there, and who did I answer for? Miss Cleo, call me now. So it's not like, it's not an, I mean, again, I wouldn't know what the first thing to say on a phone call, but I say again, like I said before, it may not be for me, but if it's for you, do you be successful and be safe at it. Regardless of how much we talk about it, sex industry ain't going nowhere because sex ain't going nowhere. I think there's a right way to do things. There's a wrong way to do things. And I do believe in the spirit of balance that Cabana puts into this show every time. We're not always going to walk away from these shows agreeing with one another. And that's why this is what you got to say. We don't have to agree with one another, but we still play very well together with no unfollows, no deletes, no arguments or nothing like that. It's just, we just live differently. And we never know in the future what life experiences that we might experience that might change our point of view as well as yours. So this wraps up this episode. We love y'all. Peace out from What You Got to Say.